I got really involved in our Filipino club, Mabuhay.
Mabuhay.
Yeah.
Which means...
Uh,
let's cut this out. Stop everything.
Nah, Mabuhay is like, it's kind of like long live, or it's kind of one of those things, like, you know, it's like
Mabuhay, right?
Yeah. It's like
live a long life.
Yeah. So I was doing that, and actually junior year, the club started to get a little bit more serious.
Oh, that's what kills everything, right?
Well, no, it was actually a good thing because it was actually more engaging. I think like the first time as I was doing it, we would just go like to
just
the
to go
meetings,
because basically your friends are there. It was all the Filipinos.
Yeah, so we would just go
it's
to
like
a
during
room
lunchtime?
during lunch just to kick it with people during lunch, and they never really did anything. But I remember like junior year, we were trying to get it a little bit more structured. And I actually became the...
I was gone by then. So
yeah. I became the PCN commissioner. So PCN, that stands for Filipino Culture Night. And that was the first time
that
they
was
actually...
big. Or it still is big.
Actually, technically, that was the second one, but the first one was more of like a potluck Filipino Culture Night. But then they actually wanted to make it more... like a show, involved, right? Like how it was like in college.
Oh,
like,
so you guys
college.
started
So I was in charge of the first one, and luckily my sister was in college, and she was doing all that stuff too. So
she just helped you out with that.
Yeah,
hey,
so I would
here,
watch like her PCN stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, so we should do this, and I like learn the dances, learn the cultural dances. And
what was your favorite dance? Do you remember?
I liked. Obviously, tinikling is fun.
Like that's the standard, right?
Everyone knows what that is.
That's like lumpia to everyone that doesn't know Filipino food, right?
Yeah.
The panaga sa ilaw is kind of cool, where you balance like the lights on your hands,
the candles.
Oh, and do this
and all that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You did that?
Or
you're part of this?
I was part of creating that stuff. Yeah,
because that's typically female.
Yeah,
that do that.
So so that was like actually really cool, because then it was actually a big thing. I didn't realize it, but it was kind of a big thing, and we
real candles.
No, the light ones. I don't think they wouldn't let us use real candles in the auditorium. It's stuff on fire.
I mean, it's too much of a liability.
Yeah,
because then you get like wet wax everywhere and all that.
Yeah.
Brian likes wet wax. What is it? I know this from a mile away. So back to the
so that's fun, and then also the sayaw sa bangko. So it's like the one on the bench, like a dance on the bench, right?
Yeah. And then they stack them.
Yeah, they stack them. Yeah, so that was like senior year. We leveled up.
Do they climb them too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets stacked. Like for anyone who doesn't know, it's like they have like rows of them, and then they stack them like row, and then like row, and then like it gets like a pyramid. Yeah, and like they basically like hop up on different levels and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I did that, and then it was a pretty good success. You know, like we created like a skit, did all this stuff.
Right.
So that was actually pretty cool, because then it got me into like the whole back part of like performance, like stage performances and stuff like that. Because I would have to dabble in everything. Yeah. So I had like we had some kids that were in like the audiovisual club, like to work all the stuff. But I was like back there, like watching. I was like, damn, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a whole team.
Yeah, like cueing the lights, making sure all the levels are correct, all the audio and stuff.
Did they put makeup on you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would put at least eyeliner, right?
Yeah, we would actually just do that as like the club, like the students. So we didn't have actually like makeup people, but like girls that
just
like,
knew how to do makeup.
Yeah.
Why did they do that? There's a certain reason for. Is that to show the eyes a little bit more, or
I think just so you just look a little bit more polished up there. So I think
especially
it helps
from far away.
I think, I don't know if this is a thing, but when you have like a foundation on and like maybe you don't look as shiny on stage, and when you start to like get a little sweaty, then the lights are hitting you, and then you're just like your face is just shiny. So I don't know, maybe that's
you gotta bring a napkin or like
little paño.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See, I don't think I'll look.
Would you say that this kind of helped your, like doing all this kind of helped your love for videography that you do now?
I think so. At least it sparked like a creativity in me that I didn't know I really had.
Right.
The ability to actually create this stuff from nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And just a bunch of like kids with an idea just start going off of each other, creating lines. how we had like the stage set up, even the props, all that stuff was all like these kids in the club.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool. And then I mean that was pretty much it. And then I started going to a community college, or as we used to call it, junior college. Going to a JC. I went to Palomar.
Yeah, we went to Miramar. Yeah,
yeah, Miramar.
You see Miramar?
Yeah. You went. Wait, so how far is that from where you lived?
Well, actually, I think.
Yep.
At the end of high school, I actually moved even more North County. So Palomar was over in San Marcos, Texas, and
there is one in San Marcos.
Yeah, there is San Marcos,
San Marcos, Texas. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So it was actually close. So I was, so I went to Palomar, and then there, I think, I don't know, I was just kind of one of those like lost souls.
Mm-hmm.
I was like didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I just started taking classes like anyone would, just the prerequisites that you have to check off that list to get into like a Cal State,
your GEDs and stuff. Yeah.
And then I got into like my first sociology class with like this professor, and she was super dope. And I think that's kind of why I like, not only was it the content that you learn, but also just the way she presented it, and like, and I was like, whoa,
that's a good teacher.
That's kind of cool.
That's a good teacher.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was like into that stuff.
You remember her name? Like, was it one of those she taught here and at the state level?
She moved around, but she actually had like a pretty strong presence at Palomar. Dr. Grove, actually.
Oh wow,
But yeah, so I ended up taking like a lot of classes with her, and then I was one of those super duper seniors at Palomar, because during that time too, you're growing up and you're dabbling, doing a little dabble of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, trying to get your social life up. You know what I mean?
Experimenting.
Started going to raves.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I got really into electronic music and stuff. It was actually kind of big in middle school too at the time. But and then it kind of faded away, and then it kind of grew back again.
Everything circles back.
Yeah. So I was into that plur life.
I just caught that.
Let's go. You had a Playboy era?
You had one of you did one of these?
But yeah, so, and then I guess, that's where I found like the whole community piece of like sociology and just understanding like how society works and like the social psychological aspect of it and all that stuff. So that was actually my interest. And then for some reason, I just remember like we would make these videos in high school. I think one of my homies, LJ at the time, actually got into that digital media class. So he actually got to do projects and like make videos. I remember at the time I had a video camera. And so he was like, hey,
what kind of camera was it? God damn it, Brian. Your phone's ringing right now. He's the one that
told us to put our phones on silent.
I thought I did too.
Yeah, that movie voice too.
Yeah.
Grab your popcorn and a Coca-Cola and silence your phones.
Yeah, so I had a like a mini DV camera. So if you guys remember those were tapes.
Classic,
right?
Yeah.
Because it was all still analog.
One of these?
No, it was actually, thankfully, it was like
it was
maybe like,
handheld.
Yeah, it was handheld.
Technology was further along.
Technology, was further along. But I remember back in the day, though, we had like the big ones, right? The VHS.
Was it maroon and black?
No, it was just like black.
I remember that.
But I remember the maroon and black. Yeah. But yeah, so I had a camcorder because actually it's interesting that growing up, our family always had like handy cams and like video cameras and stuff like that to record family parties, right? Yeah. So we always had one. And I remember he was like, dude, I got to make this video. I was like, all right, cool. Like, what's it about? He's like telling me, I was like, oh, that's so stupid.
Wait, hold up. Was it on a black couch?
No, but we did break into his house.
Oh,
No,
what?
that was part of it. It was actually a really cool story.
Got it.
I think it was like something about like a group of kids who become like these like thieves or something, and then I don't remember, but it was just like, some random stuff.
Or?
Yeah,
Dang, you guys were creative.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, let's do it. And then I just remember like him filming us, and then that back in the day, it was on like a tape, right? So how do you bring a tape into the digital world? And you basically had a cable that you would connect it to, and you literally have to play the whole thing for it to upload into your
to digitize,
digitize it. So imagine that, kids.
And that's how I met your mother.
Yeah, so I just remember like just acting in that, and I was like, oh man, that's cool. And then I saw him put it together. I was like, damn, that's dope, dude. You know, and we would actually have like videos in those PCNs and skits and things like that. But
right.
So I guess that was kind of like my exposure to it. Never really did it, and then I took a cinema class in at Palomar, and I was like, got more into like, you know, what movies are about and how they kind of send messages and all that stuff. And then I got really into like how they kind of use the techniques in these movies to kind of mess with like your psyche,
right? Yeah,
and how to keep you engaged. So then that was like really attractive to me too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, like every motion in a movie, every planned. Extra is like planned and all that stuff. And I was
the angles that you use, come down and you trail them.
So yeah, so that was like really interesting. And then I think at that time, I started like just for fun, just making videos with my cousins, little music videos, and I would, you know, I would be the one behind the camera at this point, and then they're kind of like my puppets, and I make them do what I want to do, right? And like,
dance, puppet.
Dance for me.
Yeah, exactly, literally dance for me.
Well, because music videos,
we do the choreography. You know, I'd like do the staging and stuff and all that stuff, and I was like, oh, this is fun. And I remember just using the like just the jankiest stuff that you could have access to at the time, like Windows Movie Maker.
Hell yeah.
And then from there, I was like, yeah, this is actually really cool. Yeah, so I was just using whatever I could at the time. And at the time, it was a small little digital camera back when it was like 720p. If you guys remember that.
Jeez. Not even 1080.
Not even 1080. Honestly, I don't even know if it was 720. It was just like SD. Standard.
You were like these are the best graphics ever.
Yeah. You're like, whoa.
That's how I felt with when we had the N64. I was like, what best graphics ever?
I know. It's smoothish.
You can't get better than this. And PS2.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to sell my PS2s if anyone.
Wait, you still have your PS2?
Yeah, I still have it. You know?
Hey, I still do. I still have my original Xbox too.
I got the big box.
Dang.
Yeah.
Is it still working?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just no
it's on
TV.
offer up. Anybody?
Okay.
So yeah, so I think that's what kind of triggered it. All that stuff, like from, you know, on the stage and all that stuff, and just structuring that. I think that's what like motion was like it for me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because it's very different from like photos.
Yep.
You know, which is like one of those things like, you do videos. So like, do you take pictures, right? You take pictures.
I get,
you know what I mean?
Dude, no, I get the opposite. It's like, oh, you do photos. Do you even do video? It's like,
it's like, ooh, it's like, yeah,
you can, but
I can.
It's not really your.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Yeah.
I'm glad we're two sides of the same coin here.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how I kind of got into it, and then at that time, I think YouTube was growing. That's when the term YouTuber, I think, started to come up, and people were actually like, "Whoa, people are making money off of this." So you know, that was always kind of like a thing, like, "Oh, maybe I can just make videos."
You got into Casey Nice. What is it?
Actually, you know, it's funny. The first like YouTuber I watched a lot was actually Shaytards.
Oh,
and it was like this Mormon family. It was so weird.
Why did you watch them?
Because it was like the first, like, I don't know why. I mean, the guy is like pretty funny, right? And then so that's pretty cute. And then
so arts into Mormons.
Yeah. No, but it was interesting because it was like the whole, I think that's when like the whole vlog thing started getting popular. And I was like, whoa, it's like
vlog style.
It's like a video diary, right? And I was like, that's cool. He's just doing normal stuff, but then it's like kind of like a peak. It was like a real reality show, right?
Before reality shows started to become a thing.
Yeah, before fake reality shows.
Scripted reality,
Yeah, so then I was just like, whoa, cool. And then, you know, that branched off, and then there was all those like companies and stuff doing like skits, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. But I don't think I ever actually did anything that was paid until like way after college. Like even after Cal State. Because I didn't really do a whole lot of it.
You don't remember your first gig?
My first gig? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even think I had like an actual like first gig. Like I think the first time I actually did it for someone else was when I was working with you.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Because I really kept it in the closet. Like it was just something I just did, with my cousins for fun, But that whole time I was like actively learning about it. I just didn't start putting it into practice until, I got my first DSLR. And I was like, whoa, sick. All right, I'm gonna make some stuff. And then you realize, what was it? Like maybe like 2013. Yeah, because I remember I got it because I was also going to Japan to visit my sister because she was actually out there teaching English at the time. And I was like, well, I want to document this stuff and maybe make a vlog.
Yeah, right. Because vlogs.
Yeah, it's like vlog season all day. So then that's where I kind of did it and like just make my own personal stuff. And then I would bring it to like events with friends and then make little like, I think... Like we went to Vegas one time. You start making those like friend videos, right? You start making those friend videos and all that. You get any
footage that like it's just only the guys?
Yeah, it's only the guys need to know, right?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh man, Vegas. So I think for work, I think that's when what was that first thing that. Oh, you know what? It was a safety video.
Oh, the safety video.
Was it for your what is it? For the Y?
Yeah. So it was for the program that I was in at the time. They were in charge of doing like the safety video for work, like parking lot safety. And then I was like, oh well, I could just make a video. We could just film something. I'll just throw it together, and then you guys can talk about it. And so I did that, and apparently it was like a hit. Everybody thought it was really funny.
How did it go? Like.
So I think basically it was like parking lot safety, right? So you try to do the things that you should be doing in the parking lot to keep yourself safe. Oh, and then one of it is like obviously like no speeding in the parking lot, watch out for pedestrians, right? So we filmed like examples of that. So there's this one part where someone's backing up and then they're looking at the rearview mirror. They don't see people, like they're
not properly checking. Right?
Yeah, they're not properly checking, and then they almost hit like people, right? Right. So and then I was like, all right, so when the car's coming, you guys go like this.
Oh, so it's like a cheesy kind of
so it was like a cheesy video, right? So it was like comedy, like sketch. And then I remember I threw in the for the speeding part, I threw in the track from Tokyo Drift. It's like, and then I even threw, I was like doing sound effects and stuff, and then like people really liked it, and everyone was like, whoa, what you do? And I was like, yeah, I don't know, I guess. And then I started doing more stuff for the organization. And then I think that's where, you kind of are like, whoa, what? And then, I don't know. I think the first paid gig was actually a wedding. It was a coworker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Remember, you were my second shooter for that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who the coworker. Oh, it was the coworker's friend.
Right. Yeah, coworker's friend.
Yeah, okay, I remember now.
So the coworker was like, hey, I have a friend. Like, they need a videographer. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
And I was like... Yeah. And then it's just like, they'll pay you. And I was like, okay. But then I didn't want to do it by myself because I was like, whoa, dude, like a wedding?
Yeah.
Wow, that's scary.
Always, any first one?
That's scary. So then I got Jason to be my second shooter. And then I was just like, I'll set everything up, dude. Just go get some footage.
I don't know nothing about, cameras.
Yeah.
I kept asking Art, like, hey, Art, how do you mess with these
settings? Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing that. And then, that was when I first got into like renting stuff. Thank you, Georges.
Yeah.
So I did it. And it turned out pretty well. It led to another one. And then I don't know, but weddings, man, they're like super scary, right? And then I thought like I liked them, but then I realized like, man, they're a lot. And then also, that's when I realized like I have a problem with myself as a creator. I think like you kind of touched on it, is like nothing's ever really good enough.
Yeah.
You could have done things better.
You could have done things better.
The stuff you did is not that great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's where I get into my head a lot. My dad really focused on like, you have to learn stuff. You have to be good. You have to know how to do things, and you have to like be good at it.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like this pressure.
Right.
So I think that always got into my head. Like, oh, everything has to be good.
Yeah.
Like,
perfectionism.
And he was like good at a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like he taught me.
He was a handyman.
He was a handyman. So that's, that kind of fell on to me. Like I do a lot of stuff, like do it yourselfer and all that stuff. But I always had that mentality. You got to do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, right, like to this day, I think that's what is like my biggest hurdle as a creator is being okay with what I'm doing and trusting that what I'm doing is what people want. Because I think I do get into my head like, oh man, like this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll film the whole day and then
people will watch it and it's just like, oh man, now people are watching.
Yeah, now people are watching it and like, like what if one does suck and then you know what I mean? Yeah, like especially when I started doing stuff with you, like at first it was like fun, like it was cool. I mean, it's still fun to do stuff, right? But I mean, you know, that's why I like kind of stopped because and also like work at the time was getting crazy for me. But then I just got even more into my head on like the whole creator side of it, and it just came
started building.
Yeah, to the point where it was just like, oh man, like a lot of self doubt came creeping in. Even though I was doing stuff, I still felt like I couldn't really do that stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You're still doing it though. I mean,
I'm trying to do stuff here and there, trying to get myself back into it. But
and it's hard too when you're doing that stuff and you're looking at YouTube and you're seeing other creators and you're like, damn man, how do they do that? And you're just trying to figure. Yeah. A lot of it's comparing too. Yeah. Like growing up, comparing like what we're doing with I don't know your cousins and all this other stuff. It's just
and
I mean
that plays into the part. Thing. Yeah,
it's also a little bit culture. Like
it's that Filipino toxicity of like comparing.
You know your cousin. He's doing this thing now. Why aren't you doing it?
Huh? But he's not your cousin.
He's not your cousin. It's like why don't you want to be a nurse? Why don't you want to be an engineer? Why don't you want to? You know, I was like, damn. But you know, that's where the trauma came.
That's part of it.
That's that grit, though.
Yeah,
you know?
but it's true. I mean,
but a lot of trauma with the grit.
Yeah, because then you know, I got
like a lot of it, and like that helped me kind of get over it. Is that because you know you get in your head like, oh, what if people don't like it, or like they're gonna notice this or whatever. And the more I started, you know, sharing stuff with people and like asking them things, like they're like, I didn't know about that, and that helped me a lot. It's like, yeah, they don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like we have the burden of knowledge, and especially with like what we do, we know how things happen or how things are supposed to look, but the average person does not.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the only solace that I have. And like, you shouldn't rely on it because people are smart. They can figure things out, but you just have to do it enough where to the point where it's like, it's not to the tiniest detail. Right. Like for me, when it comes like to photos, like sometimes the photos like, oh, this could have been better if like they were posed this or that way or whatever like that. But at the end of the day, as long as they look good and the client, it's like one of my favorite things to ask people is like, you know, which one's like your side, or whatever. Like, how do you like being like thing? And I'll try and, you know, photograph them like that. And as long as I get that, they're happy. Yeah. Right. I mean, I do get some tarot clients here and there. They ask like, oh, can you edit this or whatever? And I try to keep things as like
that's
people
me.
as they yeah. There's
you make me look 50 pounds lighter.
Can you like suck
well,
in
I'm
this
not
part?
God.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Like at some point, there's a little bit of control that you can, and it's more of it's kind of like a little bit of a moral quandary because I like having to capture people as they are, you know, but with all the social media and like things like that, you want the best presentation of yourself. Right.
Yeah.
And that's where I have to kind of toe the line of, you know, fixing people to the point where they look, you know, almost perfect, but also capturing people as they are. Because I really lean more on the side of capturing people as they are, because, you know, that's how you were at that moment. Right. Especially when it comes like to like events and weddings. I don't edit it as much because, you know, that's how you were at that point. And plus, also like a wedding and stuff, like there's like a bunch of photos. I'm not going to do that for every single photo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
You're
too
like,
much.
I'm sorry, but you got to keep your 3 chins.
Like
I can take off one of them. You got to pick which one.
I mean, I'll be merciful, and like if it doesn't look flattering, sure. Yeah. But the thing that gets me the most,
I'll whiten some teeth.
Yeah. The thing that gets me the most is where like I think people look fine.
Yeah.
But then there's a like sometimes like
self-consciousness of their own self.
It's all their self-consciousness or whatever. It's like, why would you do me dirty? Like, it's like, no, you look perfectly fine. Yeah.
It's like that J. Cole track, Crooked Smile, right? You're perfect as you are with your crooked teeth.
But like
unibrow, all that stuff. Yeah.
Like I said, but going back to it, like everyone wants to present their perfect self to people.
Exactly.
It's not even your best at that point. Like I get requests sometimes to like wholly change people or whatever.
What do you mean change people?
Because there's editing things I can do where I think the biggest example I think once was.
So can you make my eyes bigger?
Yeah, or like, can you like, can you get rid of that?
Filipino?
Can you get rid of that second chin, or like trim, my jawline and stuff.
Oh wow, give like a whole jawline.
Yeah, like there's tricks around that too, because that's where like drawing growing up came in, because then like literally that's what I'm doing. I'm literally redrawing people like with pixels and stuff this time around instead of a pencil. But I mean, that like going back to you are like I get in my head sometimes too. I've gotten a lot better out of it. It's still there. Like you still have that little voice in your head. Especially if you're researching stuff and you want to get better, like you're studying other people, but then you're like, they're like so good. Yeah. Like how the hell, how are they doing that?
Yeah. That little voice has started yelling in my head. That's where I think I'm like, whoa, okay, I don't know. I have to listen. I don't know.
Well, you have to kind of get bigger than that voice and tell it to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's just a voice in your head. It has no power over you.
I mean, really, it's me, right? Me versus myself.
Right.
At the end of the day. So.
Yeah.
I think that's a good tip, because shooting with Brian when we first started doing things, and I was like, I don't do photo shoots. I hate taking photos in general.
Right.
And then Brian's like, you got to be this other person and be confident in that. You got to play a role in a sense. Yeah, and that helped me out too. It was also good to have a mask on, because people were walking by. I'm like, they don't know who I am.
Yeah. And even regardless, like I think I was telling you at the time too, it's like, even if we're doing stuff, they're just going to be like, oh, they're doing things. Yeah. Because I feel like you were like in your own head too. Like you're, they're judging you, or like, they're secretly laughing behind your back.
Well, the ones that stop, I think the worst fear is being on World Star, or one of those.
I mean, we never did anything extreme, like if I had you like stand on a ledge and go like a weird pose, then maybe, but I never had you do anything. Like most of our shoots were typically like fashion oriented, so you had like casual poses and stuff. And I think it's also a benefit of the culture nowadays is that's kind of a thing, because you see that
you see it everywhere.
You say like people doing that. You see the Instagram boyfriends getting especially like Coachella or something like that. You get the girl doing the thing, and there's a guy do that, or like one of their friends. So I mean, that kind of helped with the whole stigma, I hope, right? But for the most part, people tend to not care and just have your own business. And you just have to remind them. And that's also like my job as that kind of thing, like just reassuring, because I get a lot of people that are just really self-conscious about it. Everyone doesn't want to be judged.
It's a good thing that you pointed that out, because it's in a sense you're a coach to them in that moment.
That's part of what I have to do. Yeah.
Because my nephew Maddox, you've done a couple pictures, family photos. We did a collab together, and he's real comfortable with you. He's like, because you can coach him in that sense too.
Yeah. I mean, like when dealing with kids, all you have to really do is so the hardest thing for me to photograph is like animals and kids, because
they move a lot, right?
Well, they move a lot, and they tend to not pay attention to you. Like animals, because obviously they don't really all understand English, but kids,
How do you know they don't understand English?
Well, they don't understand it like humans do, right? Like, and even as a small child, like they understand, but they'll still do what they want to do. Like they don't have the values instilled to them that like when someone tells you to do this, you do this, or like the gravity of the situation they're in, right? When they get older, they know, but when they're young, they just they're a free spirit. They'll do what they do.
This just popped up in my head random. So animals, if an animal was born in America and one was born in Japan, do you think they can communicate the same, or do they speak a different language based off their?
It's more like,
I think it's different.
Well, the way I think about it is that they just associate the pattern of speech with an action. So it's not like they understand it. They just know that when this sound happens, I have to do this. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But I'm sure they still speak dog. Like if they're barking at each other.
Yeah.
To dog.
Dog to dog.
Dog to dog. Yeah. I mean, we won't know unless we get a Dr. Doolittle on our hands. Yeah. But looping back to it. That's I know you suffer from that a lot, but I thought I would share that at least, because I mean, like for when I was first starting, especially when I was starting to get like paid like more and more, like that just kind of started creeping up, and I went through the same thing too, where it's like maybe I kind of step back here because I don't think I'm like good enough. Because then you would deliver stuff, and then you would see other, like, just sometimes you would get curious and like, okay, what have other people have kind of said? It's like, my stuff doesn't look exactly like that at all, but the whole point is that I started to learn too is like it doesn't really matter because as long as the person you're giving it to is happy with what they got, that's all that matters. That's it. Yeah. If they complain or whatever, then okay, you're kind of stuck.
Especially to the naked eye. Like every time I see something, I'm like, man, this is great. But then, like you guys pointed out earlier when we started setting up, and you're like, there was a little blur. I'm like, man, I thought it was perfect. You know.
Again, it has to do with the whole burden of knowledge because we know the ins and outs. We know what we're looking for. It's basically just like it's just like magic, right? Like you see a magic trick, you're wowed and all that, but once you know how it works and then you see someone do it, if you start picking it apart, you start picking it apart, and then like if they don't do it a certain way, you're like, oh, they fucked up here, or they're like, why did they fuck up there? You know, sometimes like you know they would do that for effects or something like that. But at the end of the day, like for the end product, for most people, they're not really aware of that. I mean, the most I get now is like, oh, I should have done this a little bit better, or this is like not a little bit to what I was, but the biggest thing is just you live to shoot another day. Like that's it. It's done. It's it's done and over with. I lived through that. They're happy. That's it. I'm gonna take that and do better on the next one, and that's how I improve. Yeah. So I do hope you come back because I miss doing your videos and stuff.
So hopefully, I'll get back into it. There's still like some things that I need to do.
Still healing.
Because obviously, that was a big part of it. I felt like what kind of like literally like rocked my world was the whole time of like this COVID pandemic, and then
that changed
everything.
That's a big difference.
Everything changed. And then on top of that, work changed. Work got crazy. Work got more crazy.
It still is.
I did, I was doing more stuff, on the side.
It's that boiling pot, right? And then you just keep adding these ingredients until it.
Yeah. And then, like I said last time, like I'm like the worst person to realize like when I need to take care of myself because I don't really.
You don't take a step back.
I don't take a step back. And I've always been like kind of like I wouldn't want to say like not a people pleaser, but I always want to be there to support people. Right. Like you can ask any like one of my homies and they're like, oh yeah, he's this kind of person.
Right.
So then into a point where that kind of becomes like my priority. And then I think, I kind of don't pay attention to myself and what's going on with myself.
Yeah. And you're starting to open up more. I remember when you shared something on your Instagram and you got real vulnerable with people, letting them know where you're at in that process, and you're opening up to an audience that you probably don't know who's going to watch. Yeah. This is part of like your growth process too.
No, for sure.
That vulnerability, a lot of people think vulnerability is a weakness, but I feel like it's a strength because not a lot of people show that.
And it really is part of the process, I think, to be able to discuss this. Because I mean, I like if any of the homies are watching, I'm sure they don't like. I don't really talk about my problems. I will listen to anyone's problems till the end of time. But
tell the homies to send some questions in.
Send us some questions, guys.
I love those guys. I need to hear more from you. Like one person,
Drew, Alex,
all of them. Like I talk to John all the time. We send memes. We're in the DMs all like just sending random stuff, Lakers stuff. But come on, man, send us some questions. I know you guys have some good ones.
Yeah. But I just get stuck in that. It's funny, being in like the social services, like kind of, profession, and yet here I am really stuck onto like my own cultural upbringing, right?
It's
like
it's a battle in itself.
Like my dad never talked about feelings. You kidding me?
No,
he handled his shit. Right. So what do I gotta do? I'll handle my shit, right? But it's a different time. It's crazy. Like the stuff we worry about these days is totally different than
and it's changing.
Yeah,
it's always changing. Yeah, different generations. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Anyways.
So that's Art's life.
Oh, are we on to my origin story?
Let's move. Let's get a move in.
Well, I was born in West Philadelphia, born and raised,
of course,
on the playground where I spent most of my day. No, but so I was born in Hawaii.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Born there. My dad was in the Navy, of course. He served the Navy for 20 years.
Yeah.
When my mom was about to give birth, he was actually on his to me.
Okay.
No, to my dad.
Well, I don't know because you have a sibling, so I wasn't sure.
Okay, so I was the oldest. They weren't born yet. They were born here in San Diego.
Sure.
And my dad was still on the ship, and they still didn't have a name for me because I came out, I think, a little bit earlier than expected. They didn't have a name situated. So my when I was born, my parents named me after my dad's ship.
Oh,
which is weird because the ship was called the USS Jason.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that ship still active? Do you know?
No, I don't think so. Right. But what's funny is I met someone in the community, and he was a Navy, vet, and he's like, "Oh, your dad's in the military," and we just started talking, and he's like, "Wait, what ship?" I said, "The USS Jason," and he's like, "No way," because our ship would go to sea together.
Oh, okay.
And they were in the same time point. So I was like, I wonder if they ever met
and talked or whatever.
Yeah, and partied it up in the took boats and rafts and so I was there for a bit. I feel like I moved here when I was in kindergarten. But every summer I would go back to Hawaii to spend time with my grandparents. My dad had his whole family, cousins, all there. And so my upbringings was in San Diego and then Hawaii in the summers.
Oh, that's cool.
My dad's biggest fear was me fighting with my little sister.
Oh, yeah.
Picking fights. And so I grew up in National City, went to Daniel Boone, lived 423 South Siena Street. So for those that are in Southeast, I lived right by Morse High. Oh, and I would have been a Morse Tiger, right? Yeah, Morse,
something like that.
Morse Tiger. It wasn't until the third grade where my dad was like, National City, Southeast at the time. This was like Tupac, Biggie, West Coast beef. The riots were happening. We moved out of National City into Mira Mesa. Mira Mesa was...
it was like the up and coming.
Yeah, it was it was like the Temecula of San Diego.
Yeah, at the time, right?
Because they're developing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then so we moved up there, third grade, elementary.
Early 90s, yeah.
Early 90s. I played the saxophone.
Nice.
I played the saxophone because I remember that, my dad went to Japan and he bought 2 instruments. And so my dad bought 2 instruments, one for my sister who played the clarinet, and then myself was the saxophone. I played the alto saxophone. So I was in band for a couple of years maybe. Went to Challenger Middle School, was still in band. I think I fell out of band when I got into high school. High school, I was more into, all right, I want to be on the football team. Being in a military household, it was rough. Like, it was challenging, a lot of tension between me and my dad growing up. And so a lot of my aggression I had at the time was, let's take it out in the field. Let me rock someone.
Yeah.
Damn.
I played defensive tackle and offensive line in high school. And I was like, damn, like, this feels good to let it out. Just hitting someone with shoulder pads. A lot of the drills would be like, all right, offense, defense, you go up against each other. Yeah. And I started to like it. And so I did that for maybe like 3 years until I broke my forearm.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, right or left?
I want to say it's, I think it's right. I had a cast.
Did that affect any other actions?
Growing up?
That's when I knew I was left-handed. No, but...
He favors his left.
No, but after that, I was like, man, broke my forearm. Now I can't go to the NFL. So let me focus.
Was it like broken? Or
it was broken. It had a cast, and it was a fractured forearm. You saw the split in the X-rays. Also, now that we're talking about injuries, that brings me back to I also injured and this was before my forearm. I injured my knee. Like, if you can see, you can probably maybe see it in the last episode, but my knee has this gap where it's like this groove. Because we had this drill in practice, and we had this. I was at defense at the time. We were slanting, right?
Right. So
and
going lateral.
And so there was an offensive lineman. I think they did some kind of trick thing where they surprised you from the side, and the offensive lineman, 300 pounds, fell big guy, 6'2", 300 pounds, fell on my knee, and that was the first time I saw, like, they came at the side of it. My knee looked like an L for a quick second. It was an L. It touched the ground and it came out that side. And I had what do you call it? Crutches at the time.
Rubbing my knees.
And then so I stopped playing football. I think track season came shortly after. And so I was like, man, I still want to play a sport. Like I like being in sports. I like the camaraderie. Yeah. I remembered in football, before every game, I want to say this is when 8 Mile came out. We would freestyle in the locker room. Yeah. And you know how it goes where you're battling and then now you have this other person touching your shirt and just getting in your grill. We were big on that, and so like I was just like, man, I want to do another sport, and I was like, what can I do? Because I can't really you can't really do basketball. Yeah. It's a limited, maybe 12 to 15 players, and so I was like, what can I do? And I started seeing that they're doing track, and I saw this one guy doing shot put and discus, and I was like, oh, that's a big guy. He was, I want to say 6'4".
He's like me for real.
280 pounds tall, Samoan guy. He was shot put. And he would launch that across the field. Yeah.
Those are light. They're like heavy, like 5, 10 pounds.
I want it like a bowling ball.
That, for 6th grade Olympics. We did.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, man.
But then so I was like, all right, let me do that. So I did shot put for a bit. I did discus. Went to community college as well.
Yeah. You know what I got into in a high school? My sport was paintball.
Oh, did you go with all your friends?
I actually got introduced to it by a friend in high school. But it sucks because me and that friend had kind of a falling out like after 2-3 years. Yeah. So I stopped playing. But it's actually something I've been wanting to do again.
Oh, we should go.
Yeah, we should.
We're all in welts the next episode.
Yeah. Because I'm not like really a violent person, but I will shoot somebody with a paintball gun.
I'm not a violent person, but I will shoot somebody.
I will choose paintball.
I don't care if you're 7.
Yeah.
But, you signed up for this.
I think that's that video game mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a real life video game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Non-lethal violence.
Yeah, it's not real. It can't hurt you.
Yeah, community college. Tell us about it.
So I went to community college, went to Miramar,
right?
And then got into some classes.
That's where we met.
Yeah, that's where. Well, no,
we met. Well,
that's where we actually went to school together for the first time.
Yeah.
We had like night classes. I think we had a Tagalog class together.
Yeah, nice. And Tagalog, and then I think we had a science class too.
Yeah. Oh, I hated that class. But I ended up quitting community college. Me and my dad, like I said, growing up, we had some tension. I moved out of the house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Moved out of the house. Well, it basically, so this is a time period where it left me homeless at the time because I was living out of my car, sleeping in, people's
couch surfing.
Bunk bed surfing at the time. I had a good friend. Shout out to him. Shout out to Rafi for letting me. Rafi and at the time Vince. They were good friends to let me sleep over there. They never knew why, but for me it was like, all right, well, I got to drink here so that I can not go to sleep in my car that night. But I remember that time where I was just like, I got my ears pierced. That was like the last straw. I got my ears pierced, and my dad was like, who told you to pierce your ears? And I'm like, man, like I want to get my ears pierced.
MTV told me to pierce
my early 20s, and he was like, as long as you live in our household, you don't get your ears pierced. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want to fucking live here anymore.
Yeah.
And I remember that because I was going upstairs, and he caught me like mid stairs, and I ran out and I slammed the door. And at that moment, I was like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And I was like, but at the same time, I had like that adrenaline, and I was like, but this shit feels good. Because that was the first time that I actually did something about it, where it was me. I was just like, all right, now what I gotta do, right?
I feel like that's like a coming of age story for like like any like Filipino like son to like their dad who always has like a grasp on like I mean if you grew up in that kind of thing, because it was kind of the same thing. I had a moment where my dad actually got in my face. And he said, "Are you gonna punch me?"
No way. What happened?
I clenched my fist,
what was
I didn't punch. I forgot. I don't know.
You forgot why?
Yeah, I forgot why, but I just remember. Yeah, there was one of those.
I didn't
moments.
Expect that from you because I thought like you and your dad had a great relationship.
I mean, it was good
from what I saw.
Yeah. It was good, but when they're trying to instill their knowledge onto you, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
There's like it doesn't always.
I don't
mesh.
want your life, Dad.
Yeah. So yeah,
you guys had it harder than I did. Then.
Yeah,
my dad is pretty easy going,
and so it was a constant battle. And so I was just like, you know what? Let me just figure things out.
Right.
From there, that was where I met. It was my ex's uncle who worked for FedEx at the time.
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey, you're looking for a job. There's package handlers at at FedEx, but it's graveyard shift." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like this is the first time I think I did graveyard shift, and so I was like, "Let me just see how it is."
Yeah, try it out.
Yeah, and growing up in a military household, like you learn a lot of, like, well, at least from my experience, you learn to work hard,
right?
Because your dad worked hard as well,
sure,
right? And so I was like, all right, let me do this, and I did great at it. I was at there's this belt. I had to load packages onto trucks, and I had maybe assigned 3 or 4 of them, and I was just zombie mode, like, it's just the truck, let's match it to this, and I did that for a couple of months, and this guy pulled me aside. He was a driver. The drivers came in at a later time when the sun rose, and he was like, "Hey, you should start driving, make some real money." And so you move up. And I was like, "Well, how do you do it?" And so he told me, "Well, this is the process. You take some classes and be a driver." And so fast forward, I became a driver, seasonal time, and so good thing about season, like when you're a seasonal driver, that's when all the drivers with their own routes, because you can own a route. We had I think 4 brothers. They own a whole route, a whole side. Like you had the whole 9-2-1-2 whatever
from here to here. Like
exactly. So they had territory, right? And so
driving in my lane.
and so it was basically recruitment time for people that had multiple routes. And like, hey, I need a driver. I remember there was this guy named Joe. He was a military parent. White dude. He was like, hey, I need a driver. And so I became his driver. And that's the first time I was one of the youngest at 21, because I think you had to be 21 at the time to become a driver. And I remember this time frame when they're like, oh, when did you do FedEx at 21? Because how do I know that? I was homeless at the time. And so that's when I actually had some real money. And I said, I got my first paycheck. And I was like, oh, cool. This is for the first I think it was for the first 2 weeks, right?
Okay.
I said, this is for the first 2 weeks. And he's like, no, we get this weekly. I was like, shit, we get paid every Friday at this. I forget what the amount was, but for me being 21, I was like, this is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Dang. Like $800.
Yeah. and then so I was still, I was living out of it was like a second kitchen. It was with my ex, right? Living in a second kitchen, which they placed a bed kitchen? In. Like it was a funk, like it was an extension. Area? No, it was an extension. They made it, it's supposed to be the backyard, but they made it into second kitchen.
I was like, I've never heard of a second kitchen.
They also had a house in the back too, which was the second. It was
like a guest house kind of.
Yeah, like a little guest house. And so I lived there for a bit. Me and my ex split. I ended up. I want to say I moved back home, and that's when like my relationship with my dad got a little bit better, and we had an agreement because I wasn't at school at the time. I was still working FedEx, and we had an agreement. He's all, "Hey, I still want you to finish college. I have my VA benefits.
Right.
I'm good until what was it, like 25,
something like that."
And I was like, I was the type of person, like, I hated school. I think I mentioned this at the last, like, on episode 1. I hated school. But he said, I will get you a car so that you can get there. Because I had a 98 Expedition that I was living out of that wouldn't make it anymore. And the gas prices.
That was when it started going up.
Yeah. And that was when the gas prices were like $1.50.
Yeah, if that.
$1.50.
I don't know, man. $1.50 was like when I was growing up. I think it was like maybe because this is mid 2000s already, right?
2000,
early mid 2000s. It was at least 2 something.
But in high school, it was $1 something.
I remember that.
Once I started driving, it was like $1 or something.
Because I got my Expedition. I think my junior
they'd be like,
or
"Hey, I got
year.
$5. Here's gas, man."
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh man, that's good." Nowadays it's like,
now it's like, "Oh, that's it."
Yeah. Nowadays
we're going to
LA,
LA, you give me $5.
Yeah, it's like, man, I need at least 20, dog.
Yeah.
And then so I went back to school, got out of that relationship, and I dated someone else that took me to community college. I went with her, and she was like, "Go check on your grades, see where you're at, see if you can transfer, and or how many classes do you have left to transfer." So I went to talk to a counselor, and the counselor was like looking at the requirements, and she was like, "You can transfer now. Do you want to apply to a college now?" I was like, "Oh shit!" And so this was at a point where you're able to go undeclared, and so I applied to San Diego State.
Oh, that's when they had the transfer assist guaranteed.
Was that what it was?
That's what I did, and I think that's probably what you had, because like as long as you did like when you did community college, and then you would declare like, oh, I'm going to work towards this school, and then you do all the requirements. As long as you met all the requirements, like you were guaranteed it. Now they don't do that anymore because
it's impacted.
It's impacted. Everything's impacted.
Everything's impacted.
I mean, that's how I got into Cal State.
Yeah,
Marcos.
You get a
Palomar was
tag
kind of doing the same
too?
thing.
Tag,
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a thing going around with all the community colleges where like if you
it was like set up to be a pair.
Yeah, it was set up to be a pair.
Yeah.
Like as long as you can, you had an idea. Like they supported different colleges, and like as long as you declared one of them, you're like, I'm working towards this school. It's like, okay, cool. Do all this, and then you just go.
Yeah.
And it was great. But now
that's how you save money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you don't know what you're doing. You know, you save a lot more money that way.
Those prerequisites, like, what are you gonna? I don't know.
Well, it was a waste of money. Yeah,
that's a whole nother.
That's a whole institutional thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
just to make that money.
Right. So then you got into state, right?
So I got into state, and I was like, I think I got into state, and it was like rush season.
Yep.
Right. And that's when all the fraternities, sororities, there's this whole hallway,
like
filled with tables, flyers, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to join Kappa? Blah blah blah." And so every day I was like, "No, thank you, no," because at the time I was 23.
Focusing.
I was a transfer student. I was like, "I don't need this. I have friends. I grew up in Mira Mesa," and then the school days passed by. I'm like, "Man, this is kind of boring, and this is a big campus." And every day they rushed me, and it wasn't until I met Jeff Serra. I don't know if you know
I remember
Jeff Serra. Like, he looked at me and he was like, "Hey, just take this." Like I looked at him, and I felt like he was like this tall, and he was like, "Hey,"
you are pretty tall though, Jason.
Yeah, like, "Hey, check this out. Like, come out to the events." I was like, I looked at it, I took the flyer. That was the first time I actually took the flyer.
Oh, because you were just
and I saw who was it? Jason and Chetta. I don't know if he went to RB too.
Shoot. I don't think he went to RB, but
I met him that summer before. Like, I don't know, we met through mutual friends, and we drank together. And I was like, "Wait, you're in this fraternity?" And so I really started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. It says free food.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
It says free food, so I went, and then I met people that like went to Scripps, like went all over.
Small world kind of thing.
Small world kind of thing, and I was like, man, this reminded me of football and the camaraderie, and I was like, damn it. I was like, I wasn't looking to join a fraternity because everyone stereotypes the fraternity as, oh, you party, all this stuff, but what I really got from it was building that organizational part. That's what stuck with me. Like, great. We had party. We like work hard, play hard. You still have good times. Like me and Brian had good times. That's for another episode. But I stuck through there. Unfortunately, from there, I didn't focus on my grades. My grades started to slip. I was just like, let me just get through this process of being a new member. And I didn't show up to any of my classes. I only had 2 classes at the time.
And you didn't show up to any of them.
And I didn't show up because I was like, man, I cared less for school. I was doing this because I had agreement with my dad, right? And so I got a 0.0. And people were like, how do you get a 0.0? It's like, because I'm not showing up to my classes. They're not going to give me a D if I'm not,
Failed,
I just failed, and I really didn't care. But it hit me because that was the first time I learned about academic probation. And I was like, wait, you can get kicked out of school for this? And so,
because you're not going to class.
And so I had to sit in front of, I think it was.
But on the flip side, I know you could take a semester off and be cool.
It's different. That's different. That's different.
I had to sit in front of a dean, and it was hard getting off because, like, I took bullying classes. I took the easiest classes. That's how I got into sociology, because those were like some of the easiest classes, and I was really engaged. I hated school, hated math, hated science, but I was really engaged in sociology, and that caught my eye. The second semester, it wasn't enough to pull my grades up to what the standard was. and I sat in front of Dean Randy McKenzie.
Right.
She was a more older white woman, and she was like, "Hey, what's going on here? What can we do to help you? We usually don't give you another chance after the second semester of being on academic probation." I said, "Here's my situation. This is what happened. I messed up. I'll own up to that. But this is what I want to do. I'm starting to figure things out. I want to get into the sociology field. I just need more time. Maybe one more semester so I can get my GPA, because I was close. It was like borderline. I just need this much time." And she said, "You know what? I'm gonna grant it to you. You told me your story. You're being honest. You owned up to your mistakes." And I was like, "Oh shit." And so and so if it wasn't for her, I'd probably be in a different trajectory, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, all right, let's go back to FedEx.
Yeah. Right.
I'd be working hard with my hands and all that stuff. But if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be in the field I am today, social services, because she was that door that opened up for me.
Right.
Yeah. And so I graduated with a major in urban studies with an emphasis in sociology. I minored in women's studies because, like I said, I was I saw Brian from the back with his newspaper. But like I minored in women's studies because I was like, you know what? I need another A. This is similar to social studies, history, like all.
Plus, it's something interesting.
It's something new and a different perspective. So I went to my first perspective. I went to my first.
I even took one of those.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I took a studies class. Yeah.
Hey, when you're in college and the ratio is 1 to 15, or I felt like 1 to 10 at sometimes.
I only had to pay enough attention to get that C.
C's get degrees, baby.
and I didn't want to be the out of pocket guy who said, "Well, this is how it," No. Because one thing that caught my attention was like, well, we learned about our professor was a great professor. I don't remember the name, but she was like, we learn about history, but here we're gonna learn about her story. I was like, oh shit, That's a classic line. So that caught me, and I started taking more classes. I love the history part because you're taught one thing growing up, and now there's another side, an oppressed side that they don't teach you at a higher level. And so I took that. I took all the way up to the 400, 500 classes.
Nice.
And then I every semester I sat down with a counselor, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to make this a minor?" I was like, I can do that. Right?
A lot of this stuff they don't tell you.
They don't tell you, but when they sit down with you and you have a great counselor that really cares, they'll tell you, "Hey, let's do this. Let's build your resume up. Let's, get you, let's get you there."
Yeah.
And so I actually got it as a minored in women's studies and majored in urban studies.
Nice.
Yeah. And then so from there, I was applying for a bunch of jobs. I worked at a group home for a good year. And then I was like, wait, I want to see what I can get with my degree.
Right.
When you graduate with your degree doesn't do anything for you if you don't have the experience. So I interned at a shelter at the time in a social services organization. And then from there, I got after a year, I got a call from where I currently work at right now at a nonprofit. And they're like, "Hey, we want to give you an interview for this case manager position working with foster youth." And I said, "Okay, let me do that." Went to that interview. They said, "Hey, we want to bring you for a second interview." I was like, "Oh shoot, different director." I think they were a director at the time, a different director. And that director, I forget who was first, but that director sat with me in that interview and got comfortable where we were just having, I forgot I was in an interview and we're having these conversations and I was sharing a lot of these stories about my life and my upbringings. And that's when I knew, I was like, this is what an interview should be. They don't teach you this in school. This should be more of a conversation, because if I can picture you in that seat, not answering this what I want to hear, but you're pouring your soul out. Like, that's the person I want to hire. And so I didn't hear from them. I was like, man, I'm probably not gonna get hired. I've been applying for job after job. Went to Vegas, and then I got a call, and it was from them. And he was like, "Hey, we want to hire you, but we need to drug test you." I was like, "Oh shoot!" I just got back from Vegas. I just came back from Vegas. Partake. Like, I don't do drugs. I don't do much. And I'm talking about like smoking weed. Yeah. Right. Like that's just not my thing. I get sleepy, I get lazy. But when you're in Vegas, you have friends that do that and you're partying and doing all that stuff. And I'm just like, shoot, let me get this out of my system. Like, hopefully I pass.
Give me like
this.
a week.
Yeah, give me like a week. Drink a lot of water, treadmill, all that stuff. And I mean, I sweat it out, you know. And I passed. And so that started my career. I was in foster care for 4 years. There was a position that opened up, and I can go in depth later, but I just want to fast forward to this position working with our homeless young adults for another 4 years, and that really tied me back to this is the experience that I had, and I really opened up maybe like 2-3 years ago and really embraced this and was being vulnerable, because a lot of the times when you hear someone that's homeless, you think a certain way.
Yeah,
of course. There's a certain stigma.
There's a profile.
There's a profile,
right.
and a lot of that came with being ashamed, having guilt. And I just really got into myself, but it was and hearing all these stories, going to all these conferences, having people with lived experience really brought that advocation out of me, that voice. And I was just like, you know what, let me just own this shit. Like, let me be vulnerable and share it with people that I don't know, because that might impact someone down the road.
Yeah.
Fast forward to that. I was a part of a national board in our fraternity. That I was a little bit more removed from the active life. I served 2 terms, started a business in clothing and podcasting, and then created the Certified Lumpia Boyz, right? and so I wanted, I love the Lakers, so like the symbol is of, I think it's 3 lumpia wrappers.
I haven't really looked at it.
With the Lakers logo across it. Yeah. And I was, you remember our original group. What was the group? What was the group name? Do you guys remember? Are you guys ashamed?
It's been so long. I don't remember.
Was it the Bastos Boys?
That was the first one, wasn't it?
There's a lot of Bastos Boys crews out there.
Yeah. It was the Filipino boy toys.
Oh yeah, Filipino boy toys. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you named it that one day and asked me. I was like, what's going on with it? I was like,
you put a group name? Like, let's just name it this.
That's why.
And then it wasn't until Drake dropped his CLB Certified Lover Boys album, you know, the one with the pregnant emojis. Yeah. And so I was like, oh shit, we should be the Certified Lumpia Boyz. We're in this place in our lives where we're like not doing the norms. We're asked to be a nurse or in the Navy and all this stuff. So I was like, this is a creative side where, like, this is where we're at right now. Podcasting. This is not something that we grew up knowing what to do, or our parents telling us to do this.
Yeah.
And I think that's my side of the origin story. All right.
You had a pretty wild life. I didn't know about that when you were younger.
Yeah.
Because again, I met you like in high school and I didn't even know.
And like I said, it's something that I haven't shared until these last few years. And I'm gonna be opening up a little bit more when we have guests. Right. It's like this is the I'm out here. Like I'm telling you, like this. I'm being as vulnerable. Let's start here.
Yeah.
You know. So now we're in that portion of the podcast where we're gonna have some random fun. Thanks for sticking it through with our origin story.
It's a long day over there.
Yeah.
Subscribe to
so much to unpack.
Subscribe to the page. For those that are watching, subscribe to the page. That really helps the channel out.
Give us a like to heal our traumas.
If only that were true.
That will heal our trauma. If you give it that like, he's refreshing it every day. Like
he's looking at that number, seeing if it goes up. His self-worth is directly correlated to that number going up.
No. I don't live for likes.
All right, on to the next portion of the podcast. This is our random fun. We play a bunch of random games. This or that. Would you rather? Where do you stand? Most likely to.
Yeah. Just get our perspectives, right?
Yes. And so this is called One Must Go. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this, where we have 3 categories and one of them has to go. And so this first one is, this is Marvel. Okay. You know, I'm a big fan of Marvel, so I was like, you know what?
Sure.
Let's do this. So out of the 3, which one must go?
Okay.
Iron Man.
Right.
Captain America.
Okay.
Or Thor.
Thor.
Thor. The God of Thunder.
Wait. Okay. Are we just talking? Are we talking like in general, or specifically the movie universe, or?
Universe,
oh shoot. Overall.
Overall.
I think overall.
Overall. That's hard.
That's what she said. Let's go with art. I think art has.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess Thor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thor.
I mean, I don't know a whole lot of like the Marvel comic universe.
Right.
Just the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And I think, he's a great character and a very likable character. Mm-hmm. But as far as like his role in the whole grand scheme of like that whole phase 2 or 3, I don't know. Am I wrong? What did he do?
He didn't have the hammer?
Yeah. Yeah, jokes.
Yeah, he had the hammer, right?
Yeah, the hammer.
Both hammers. He crossed the universe to
yeah. But did he,
I mean,
sacrifice himself?
Captain America used it on, right? The whole thing.
That's true.
Scene.
That's true. He did kind of need that hammer.
Yeah.
He was worthy. That's why he could use it.
Yeah. I mean, he could have found the hammer.
Yeah.
At Home Depot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
aisle 19.
Yeah, if we're talking movie universe, like the impact, I would say Thor as well. Because when you think about it, Iron Man was what set off the whole MCU to be like popular and stuff like that. I mean, like for me, MCU was popular with Blade, but yeah. that's the first Marvel movie to me. And then Captain America is pretty iconic. Like he's the kind of the formation of the Avengers and all that. So, because when you think about it, because Iron Man and Captain America are actually from Earth. Thor is technically not from Earth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's Asgard, right?
Asgard, which looks over Earth amongst other things.
Great job, Asgard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did a whole thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was like wasted potential. They could have done a lot more, like especially with what goes on in the comics and stuff. But
don't get me wrong, I like the Thor.
Yeah, you like the Thor?
I like the Thor.
I like the Thor.
I like the Thor.
I like the Thor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My answer is Captain America. I'm just not impressed.
Okay.
I mean, I get the importance of he's an OG and everything, but I'm just not impressed with his skill set compared to the rest of the Avengers.
Yeah. He's got the leadership thing down there.
Yeah, he has a leadership thing down.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, like
the shining unicorn, he's not it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some
what's next?
Holidays. So, which one must go?
Ooh.
Halloween.
Okay.
New Year's Eve or Christmas?
Oh, that's
hard. Those tough. Are the 3 favorite holidays of the world. Mm-hmm. I like Halloween.
I do like Halloween. Christmas, obviously. I guess.
Well, I mean, some people don't even celebrate Christmas.
Right. But like, we're just talking for you specifically, right?
Yeah.
Our gets cold. That's why.
Well, I guess I have to celebrate Christmas, right? Because I'm Catholic.
you don't have to. Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe I get rid of New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That one's the most like people just get together and that's like you still get together, you still make meaning out of it, but at the end of the day, it's not as culturally impactful. I think as
it's
like a global reset, but at the same time, like,
I can do without.
Yeah, I could do without.
I could do without.
Yeah, I can stay at home. Yeah, I'm not gonna really celebrate. Especially when you get a little bit older too, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't want to be out there.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of drunk drivers. Let me be safe.
Right.
Or let me go somewhere where it's not downtown.
Yeah.
At least with Halloween, you get to wear something.
Yeah.
Or you see other people wearing things.
Yeah.
I think they just like, Christmas and Halloween stem from like something other than a calendar date.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some meaning behind it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So New Year's. Yeah.
New Year's. Okay.
Yeah. I could do without New Year's.
Out of these major cities, New York City, Paris, or Tokyo?
Paris.
Paris? Oh, you mentioned this. It's not.
Yeah.
Besides the Eiffel Tower, right? And some
the
of
tourist spots.
Tourist spots. You're just not a fan, right?
I don't know. It kind of grew on me, I guess, but still, out of the 3, I think I'd rather kick it in Tokyo and New York for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't know. I kind of like Paris. Well, then again, I went to like Paris in like
Paris
2001
down the street.
2000. I went to Paris in 2001, so it's probably. When did you go?
Just this year, and then I also went.
So you went recently, yeah. So I don't.
2000, also early 2000s as well. But
I was a teenager when I went, so it's probably different. I haven't been there since.
I mean,
I've never gone to Paris, but I'm just
nothing against Parisians or anything.
Yeah. Is that what they're called? Parisians?
Parisians, so. Yeah.
Okay.
Paris folks, let us know.
All the hate comments.
Yeah. You want to just go cry and be self-conscious about yourself,
you Americans.
Guys.
I would say Paris too. I mean, I would say New York trash. Must go.
New York trash.
Well, I mean, because when you're there, like all the stuff just piled up.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
That's one thing that I didn't like about New York is the trash, or when you're on using public transportation, you just feel icky at sometimes. Going to the subways is a little odd and everything. Other than that, I love New York, the culture, the food, the tourist spots. But yeah.
I don't know. I would say, based on what I remember, I like Paris more than New York. So
okay.
Yeah, I would have to say New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of these three, which one must go? Invention of the wheel?
Okay.
The internet or telephone?
Ooh.
I would probably choose telephone.
Because then you can just use the internet.
Yeah, you can
on
use the
desktop.
Well, I mean, like we got
like AIM.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would still come up with a portable computer, which is basically what our phones are.
Yeah.
And you just use the internet to call.
And I was just thinking about it in a sense of like, how attached are we to phones these days? And imagine if we didn't have this, how our like physical connection with other humans would be so much stronger.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of drifting us into this like technological.
Well, then by that logic, then you would get rid of the internet, because that's what really, because we had phones back in the day, we still connected and all of that.
I guess, yeah. But I want to look stuff up
on the internet, right?
Yeah, on the internet.
Yeah, I don't miss those days where it's like, who was that actor in that one thing?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. I mean, I would go without a telephone. I think that's the one. I mean, out of these three, I can have a desktop and aim you guys. It's not aim anymore. Like, what do people use to message each other on the internet?
Oh, Facebook Messenger. I guess Instagram DMs.
Can you imagine
WhatsApp?
Like you don't have a telephone, you don't have internet, and you're just trying to connect. Like, how do I tell you guys be here at 9 a.m.? I'm writing you guys letters.
Well, at least we have a wheel to get here.
That's what I'm saying. Wheel's pretty important. Pretty important.
Ryan, please show up. We
just use carrier pigeons.
All right, last one. Or last one for this topic. I think.
Wait, did you answer?
Yeah, I just said what was it? Phone as well.
Phone.
Because again, with the internet, you just call over the internet.
Yeah.
Which one must go?
Okay.
In-N-Out, McDonald's, Shake Shack.
I could say In-N-Out.
Must go?
Must go in my stomach.
Shit. Out of the three, In-N-Out must go?
Shoot.
Because it's it's got some basic things there, but like
you said Shake Shack was the third option.
Shake Shack. I mean, because Shake Shack has some
keep that shit on the East Coast.
You know?
I'm just kidding.
Because I have better memories associated with the other two. That's why.
Oh, when's the last time you had Shake Shack?
Like
8 years ago.
3 weeks ago or something like that.
Oh wow!
I had In-N-Out last night.
Yeah.
What did you get at Shake Shack?
Well, because like so In-N-Out, is like if I just want to, get something there, that kind of thing,
something quick.
Yeah, something quick, and like I know what's there, whatever, that kind of thing, right? But if I want like variety or whatever, Shake Shack has that. Like, but at the same time, I also don't like, I don't like burgers that you have to put a fucking knife in it or something like that. It's like how do I eat that?
Too craft.
Yeah, which is kind of what it has. So it's like a little bit of a balance, And I felt like if I got rid of that, then it's like two of the kind of the same, you know, because it's like fast food, right?
Yeah,
I see.
So I feel like it's almost not fair just because like they're, one's like a sit down restaurant, the other two are like fast food.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you say yours, Art?
I mean, I would probably just go with McDonald's because I think that's out of like right now, that's like the least likely. Like I don't go there often.
I get chicken nuggets every once in a while.
Chicken nuggets is what my nephew says.
I get Costco chicken nuggets.
I don't know, man. They kind of hit different.
So. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean,
sometimes they get the Monopoly thing. You get that.
I like their deep fried apple pie when they used to serve those. Yeah. Now it's baked.
Yeah, it's a little different.
How are you gonna get on a healthy tip but still have the rest of the menu?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like provide both, if anything.
Yeah.
Well, but then you know what? Those other places don't have breakfast.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought about that.
As I said, like I'm thinking in terms of like variety. You know.
Shoot. Well, then sorry, Shake Shack.
Yeah,
I was happy with In-N-Out before Shake Shack even got here.
Yeah, true.
I can't even remember the last time I ate Shake Shack. But
I don't believe in that a la carte shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it leaving.
It's whatever. Yeah.
Give me a meal, or at least make me pretend like I'm saving a few dollars.
It's like the two different levels for me. So.
All right, the next portion is our Q&A.
Sure.
The Q&A, these are questions that are requested through our stories on Instagram, and this is where we feature these on the podcast.
Sure.
So the first question this is from Beatty.
Oh.
Name your favorite duo.
Like 80 duo?
It could be like, I don't know, Salt and Pepper.
I thought of one.
So it could be people. It could be things.
I guess anything. It just says
my
name your
favorite duo is Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good duo.
That's pretty good. Shoot, I don't know. That's because when you put it that general, like it's hard, man. Like if it was narrowed down to either celebrities or like cartoon characters or food, that I could probably say.
What resonates with you, Brian?
Yeah,
a lot of those things too. like peanut butter and chocolate, man. That's
and chocolate together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one, right?
I mean, yeah, that's a good duo. Peanut butter.
Yeah. Is that your duo?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think like if you ask me this category, I could tell you, but when you like, I don't do very well when it comes to like really open-ended stuff because I start to think of everything.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting that you thought of not people as a duo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Things. I just thought of things that go together.
Like salt and pepper.
Yeah, because you. I think it's because you mentioned that I started thinking of food. Yeah. It's also like
it's also almost lunchtime.
It's like it's a little bit past lunchtime, so I'm a little hungry. So yeah, my mind drifted towards food.
This is a little earlier pod than usual. So mine's the sports. I love the Lakers, like I say.
Right.
Shaq and Kobe.
Okay.
That was a good time to grow up too. A dynamic duo who were great at what they did. And great memories to share with the family. I felt like every time I went to San Bernardino, shout out to my San Bernardino family, it was a party, and there's always the Lakers game. You always have the uncles like, oh, the Lakers on, let's play them. Like we can be at a wedding, funeral.
Someone just put it on their phone.
Exactly. Or we're at the bar and we're asking to change it to Lakers. For the next one, this is from the homie Kevin. Okay. And his question's a little shade, What will Gen Z do when their influencer career doesn't work out? Dang, Kevin. Shoot. More shader than a tree.
Firing shots out here, man.
What's your thoughts on this?
I mean,
well, one, it's not my generation. So let's see. So I think there's like talk now like for what influencers are going to do, like, because obviously you can't like do it forever.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the move is just to use the connections you made there to kind of hopefully move into something above, or even start your own business or something like that.
Yeah.
That's like me looking into it. So I don't know how like that generation kind of thinks, or like I'm not an influencer either, so I don't know how that works either. I just have I guess friends or know people that are.
You're gonna have to get educated or something.
Well, most of the people, most of the more successful influencers, they kind of like are a little bit more business savvy, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I like I said, they'll leverage whatever following they have into whatever product they want to sell or anything like that. And then, because I think like a lot of it is just kind of diversifying a lot of things. Yeah. Because I mean, the less savvy ones are just all into the one thing. That's it. But I don't know.
I think my take on this is, if it makes you happy, do what the fuck you want to do. Don't listen to what people think. It goes back to our shoots. You'll never see them again. If this really what makes you happy, go for it. This might not be, what's taught in your culture, but if it's something that just brings you joy and you really want to get at it, go for it. But also learn that you got to still pay your bills. Yeah. So
do whatever you got to do.
Maybe have a part-time gig, have a job. But
I mean,
balance it out. That's what life's about.
That's in generally what you have to do when you're doing something non-traditional. So,
I mean, you gotta do the shit jobs to get where you need to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because everybody had that first job.
What was your first job?
Spinning a sign on the side of the street.
Oh, I think I saw you.
Yeah, you saw me there.
Yeah,
it was like last weekend.
Not me. He was just doing that before he came here.
I thought you were waving at me, but it was okay.
No, I actually did that. I was like 16.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it GNC?
No, it was like this new apartment complex that was opening, and they're like, "Yeah, we need some kids."
Got it.
Well, I don't think they said we need some kids to do this.
We just need someone to do this.
Yeah, we were some kids, and we were like
7-year-old Brian came out with his fist. Last question. This is from Ashley. Do you see yourself being a parent in the future? So in the future, near future, what's your take?
Probably not. Like, I've always been in the camp, like, if it happens, it happens. Yeah. But I've just kind of like just been doing my own thing. Plus, like a lot of my other friends like have kids, so like it's just I have that. Like I can still take care, like help take care and stuff like that and all that, but with none of the responsibility.
That's like the best part where you're like, all right, I'm out.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with like all my other friends who have pets. Like I like dogs,
but I don't want the responsibility.
Yeah. I don't have to take them to the vet at like 2 a.m. because they started like hacking up something. So
I wouldn't mind being like the cool uncle, right?
That's the role I've accepted.
Yeah, because like you said, there's no responsibility when you leave for the day.
You come up, you show up, give gifts, they love you, you're out.
Near future.
Near future.
Probably not. 9 months maybe.
Is she ovulating right
now? Does she know?
Dude, I don't even know. No, I was playing.
Are you gonna be like that one doctor that like you hear about that one where it's like he was like a sperm?
Oh yeah. Oh no, nothing like that.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, probably not. I just haven't met the one.
It takes two.
Comment below if you want to go on a date with Art. Let's get hooked up with someone.
Oh jeez, I'm not.
Don't
that
make him sound
interested.
desperate. Jesus.
Well, yeah.
I think for me, I'm okay with just, like I said, being a cool uncle for now.
Yeah.
Part of, being married, we get a lot of these questions, right? You already know it, especially with Filipino family members. Mm-hmm. Oh, when are you going to get pregnant? Or, when are you going to have kids?
Well, because you have the thing. It's like, you already have the house. Mm-hmm. You already have the spouse.
Yeah.
Then the next step, logically.
Yeah. Which people found out last episode that I got married that I haven't told. We'll talk about that down the road.
Right.
But I'm in a place where like we just got a dog. That's a kid in itself, has responsibilities. And I think with having a kid, that just comes with discussions. Like, what does the other person want? I'm okay with whatever you want. It's not a big thing to me. I already have my nephews and nieces that I'm cool with. But if you want to have a kid, I support that. Let's do it.
It's a big thing, though, man.
Like, actually
changes your life.
That concludes our Q&As.
Okay.
Anything you want to shout out or promote?
Just shout outs to Thumbprint Gallery. They're having that Asian American Pacific Islander, exhibit that's going on right now. And shout out to my friend Ellis Lou Draws. He's selling prints. It's a really sick print. Like for the piece that he did, I need to pick one up.
Oh, send us the link.
I'll send the link. Yeah.
How about you, Art?
I just want to give a shout out to Target. Thanks for this shirt. And,
it still has the tag on it.
I'll bring it back after this recording. And HK
Returns.
Army for the sweats today.
Wow. Damn, Art.
I know, really sponsored the podcast.
I know. I bought all this stuff, so if you want to.
Anything you're working on right now?
I'm working on resumes a lot. These days.
Updating resumes?
I'm trying to get off the sabbatical life.
That's a funny way of saying unemployed.
Yeah.
For me, I'm sampling some items. I want to do a drop for the Brewing clothing side. And that's coming soon. I just got some quotes. It's just a lot of back and forth with the vendor. After we get a final stamp of approval, I give all the items to them, and then it goes to printing. So hopefully something new by the next episode. And the lights, I'm trying to figure out, maybe by the next episode they're up, and these are like the fluorescent lights, a little bit brighter,
a little bit cleaner,
and that's it for me.
Nice,
cool.
And thank you for everyone for tuning in.
Yeah,
to the Brewing Podcast. Until next time.
I like how this is our intro and outro music.
Perfect.